in the field on Nicole May's senior day. She'll be opposed by Aaliyah Binford. More on the pitching matchup in a bit. Before first pitch, let's take a look at how the Baylor Bears will go in Game 2 of this series after the 8-1 Sooner win last night. An incredible performance from Kelly Maxwell. 5 1/3, scattered just 3 hits and allowed a run. Shayla Govan, her average heading into last night's game was 500. Nicole Mendez, she is the big bat in their lineup.
Oh man, I got to interview her a couple of weeks ago for a Big 12 podcast, and she is just incredible where her headspace is. She is locked in. She's ready to go.
Speaking of locked in, it's her senior day. Nicole May has had a solid start to the season. She's 9-0 with a 1.54 ERA, 49 strikeouts to 15 walks. And she has been fantastic against the Baylor Bears in her career.
And I think for her, that walk ratio is incredible, but most of her walks have been multiple walk games. So if she wants to set a tone this game, it's attack early, have the changeup, and keep those balls to a minimum.
First pitch is fouled back from Taylor Strain, and we are underway on a day in which we'll play 2. Vocal cords ready? You warmed up? Did you do a few extra vocal exercises for 2 games today?
I missed my High School Musical warm-up.
Bouncer, nice play. Sanders, 1 away. Don't underestimate how smooth Sid Sanders has been at first base. She went through a bit of a struggle at the plate early, but caught fire against Iowa State in the first Big 12 series and the first regular season series here at Loves Field. Emily Hott, Edmond Deer Creek. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Hott is fouled away. I'm sorry, every so often I hope every fan has these moments. Nicole, I'm sure you do. But you just sit here and you say, this is real. This is real, and it's absolutely amazing. It's a packed house. Not a seat to be found through the outfield as May make sure everyone's not flinching behind home plate. Look at that.
I've also found whenever you have that netting behind home plate and there's no pulls, it feels like it's coming at you just a little bit more. It's a little scary.
Ball and a strike to Hott. Last night, Emily Hott started the Baylor rally as the 1-1 pitch misses low. Hott started the Baylor rally in the 4th with a leadoff bunt single. It was the first hit that Kelly Maxwell had given up.
And you can see Alyssa Brito responding in kind. She's far up on that baseline, even
2-1, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Even with Hott, who has shown that she is standing in on these balls. They don't want to risk that short game, that small ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Brito moves back a little bit. Line drive could be trouble, down for a hit. Emily Hott stays hot. Second hit of the weekend. The Baylor dugout erupts on the first hit of the game for the Bears. Good piece of hitting here, Mindy.
This one, I mean, that's a ball. That is a ball low and away in the other batter's box. But what Hott does so good is she gets to contact and doesn't try to overswing. She just lets the ball get to her bat, and then that's it. She's not trying to do too much, and that's why it lands in no man's land. If she tries to swing that full swing, probably pops that out.
First pitch strike to Govan.
But again, if you're Hott, your job is to get on base. So Shaylin Govan, whenever she steps into the box, she has base runners on board for her.
Those numbers are legit. Just out. And when I say legit, sometimes you see a hitter hovering around 500 and you think, 3 for 6, 4 for 8. Oh no. 31 of 63. 31 hits and 63 at bats. She's the real deal. The 1-1. A little bit up and out, 2-1, and now Mindy falls behind. Or pardon me, May falls behind. Mindy sitting right next to us.
Nicole May and
They're
Nicole
both Nicoles.
Mendez.
Their last name starts with an M. We
you
were
know
close.
what? It's a compliment being compared to Nicole May.
Her senior
Take
day.
it.
The 2-1. Well, that's a good pitch. Runner goes. The throw is a good one, but not in time. Hot stole the bag. She slid right under the tag.
And honestly, I think on that one, that ball almost short hopped Alina Torres' glove. And I think that's why she got called safe. You can see it right there. On that short hop, Alina Torres is standing on the back half of that bag. I think if her body is positioned in the front.
I think they got her. I don't think her leg got on the bag unless Torres had bobbled the ball a bit. The 3-1 is in for a strike, 3-2.
That's a good catch, Chris Plank.
Well, the foot came up, and as Torres put the tag on, if Hot just kept the leg down, she's safe, but it's a stolen base and a runner in scoring position for Baylor. Big pitch here. May gets her, swinging. Wow, what a pitch. 2 away.
This is the pitch that Nicole May will go to time and time again. That pitch just tails away from the batter. Slight curve, but that rise ball, that late break, that late jump on the outer half.
First pitch to the left-handed hitting Abby Flores misses a little out. Flores last night was 1 for 3, but she hit the ball hard. One ball, one strike. That was just power pitch versus power swing. No, Flores still looking for her first home run this season. Just gets a piece of it. It's worth mentioning as Riley Ludlam jogs back to pick up the foul ball. Still no Kinsey Hansen in the lineup today. We don't expect to see her in the midweek against Wichita State, nor would I expect to see her against Kansas. Maybe in Austin. Maybe. The 1-2 pitch. Bounced foul. Maybe.
And that's a big bat in their lineup that's missing. That is a big presence behind the plate. But you hear how Patty Gasso has talked about Riley Ludlam is she has come into this program arms wide open, eyes wide open, just absorbing, and she has grown so much from whenever she stepped on campus to now.
Good job by Ludlam to stay on top of it. In fact, you talk about the growth of K9. Was watching pregame. Kinsey Hansen, the Sooner co-captain catcher, was working in the bullpen. Now, she wasn't catching, but she was serving as a batter standing in for Nicole May. It's the little things. 2-2 pitch. Pop foul. Is there room for Riley Boone? No.
To that point, I don't know if this is what they were doing or not, but sometimes whenever somebody's not in the games, you have them stand in just to get the feel, just to be able to see, okay, how does that feel? What does this look like? Do I feel comfortable?
And then to have the feedback of an All-American catcher to help you out. Not too shabby, huh?
And an All-American hitter.
The 2-2 pitch gets to the backstop. Look out. Ludlam chases it down. Hot is off to third. Baylor with a great scoring opportunity here on the wild pitch.
A great battle by Flores. Fouled off a few. Ooh. This one just skims away. The screwball just skims against Nicole May's hip. Goes wild, and Ludlam not able to stop that one.
3-2. All 4. Well, that will bring one of the more dangerous hitters in Aaliyah Binford, though we did not see Aaliyah Binford hit last night. She came in out of the pin, and there's a reason. It's been a struggle at the plate for Aaliyah this year. Remember, she's coming back from a major injury. You go back to 2023, she played against the Sooners in the game that Baylor beat them in non-conference back on February 19th. But shortly thereafter, her season came to an end. Now the incredibly talented senior pitcher / shortstop trying to get back in a groove. She's an elite talent athletically, but hitting just 146 on the season, has driven in 4 runs. Big spot for her here early. Look out. Left center field, Riley Boone got a late break, but that's a no-fly zone. Inning over. Sooners work out of a jam, and we head to the bottom of the first, scoreless.
We're going to keep it going until that first pitch is thrown.
Oklahoma and Baylor scoreless early on. Here's a look at the Sooner starting lineup. Seems like Coach Gassel is settled a bit with Jada and TRA 1-2. Alina Torres, after her grand slam last night, back in the lineup. How about these freshmen? Ella Parker in the cleanup spot. Cassidy Pickering moves down to 7. I love the two Rileys at the bottom of the lineup. Riley Boone has been incredible in turning over the lineup for the Sooners. OU averaging 9 runs per game, currently second in D1. But they're challenged today by Aaliyah Binford after a tough night last night for the righty. First pitch to Jada is awkward off the glove of Torres behind the plate. Ball 1. I don't know if she got crossed up or what, but Flores must have thought something other than what she got was coming.
You can see Binford saying, "What happened? Are you okay?"
Well, and here's the other thing. Abby Flores, not necessarily a catcher by trade. They have a very talented Oklahoman in Zayda LaValle. Haven't seen her yet. The 1-0 is in for a strike, 1-1. Collasos, who many college fans are amazed at her challenges in throwing back to the circle, is at third, and she's got a straight up cannon throwing the ball from third to first. The 1-1 is low, 2-0. And also for Flores, that's a left-handed catcher too. So a little bit of a different.
Too many lefty catchers. I love the fact that there are lefty catchers. You would never catch me behind the plate, though.
That curve just missed. Binford, there's one thing. There's a good look at Flores. Last night, Abby hit the ball hard. 3-1 is strike 2. Jada not really buying that.
That was a nice curveball, just low at the knees, the inside half of the plate. I mean, if you're Jada Coleman, that's not the pitch you want to swing at a 3-1. It's a good take, but it's a great pitcher's pitch.
Ball 4. For the 22nd time this season, Jada Coleman has reached on a walk. And that sets the table for one of the hardest hitting Sooners, TRA Jennings, hottest too. And Binford, if there is one thing that you'll notice right away about this very talented righty, she wears her emotions. There's no doubt about how she's feeling or what she thinks. First pitch to Jennings, in for a strike. If she doesn't like a call, you can tell. If she's not happy with one of her teammates, she's going to let them know. Numbers for TRA, jaw-dropping last night. She pops one, sounded better than the hit is. This is trouble over on that first base line. Good job ranging over and making the play by Leah Cran, excuse me, 1-1. But my point is, boy, Binford wears her emotions on her sleeves. Makes it fun for fans to watch, but I can imagine sometimes a little bit challenging for coaches and the team.
I think as a teammate playing side by side, as a pitcher, you set the tone for the game. And if you're riding high, you're riding low, your team, if it's visible, they're going to feel that.
Ooh, that one just got away. Flores not even going to throw down. Move Jada Coleman on. Will await the official ruling, pass ball or wild pitch. It's been tough behind home plate so far for Abby Flores. Yeah, you got to slide over in front of that.
Yeah, her body stayed on that outer corner. Binford missed her spot on the inside half, and just Flores not able to move her body around. And you talk about her not being a catcher by trade. If you're not used to being able to do that day in and day out, the repetition, it's not there. That's difficult.
2-0, it's ball 3. You see, and you can just sense the frustration from Binford.
People talk about pitcher being the most mental position, but I think that catcher is one of the most important. And if you are struggling behind the plate,
ball 4.
Feel it.
A leadoff walk to Jada Coleman, a pop out by TRA Jennings, and now a 4-pitch walk. And here is Ella Parker. who for my money is one of 2 Sooners who should be in the Freshman of the Year conversation. She has loved that left center field area here at Loves Field. Parker went 2 for 4 last night, scored a run. Season average for the Cali native, 444, which leads the team among those with more than a handful of at-bats. First and second, 1 out. Sooners looking to strike first. Big cut. Strike 1.
I think Binford knows that. Flores knows that. That's why you saw them call time, just talk, reset. Let's go after these pitchers, attack them the same way you attack T.R. Jennings.
0-1 is up high. Binford, in the only appearance she made against the Sooners last year, was credited with the save. In the only loss the Sooners suffered last season, the 1-1 pitch, a little bit out, 2-1. These are pitches that aren't missing by much, but they're balls. So if an umpire is calling that a strike, then the hitters might not get a hit today. That's off the plate. 2-1. Line drive off the glove and into left field of the shortstop. Not deep enough for Coleman to score, but the bases are loaded. And that ball just rocketed right through Kylan Presley's glove. The definition, Nicole Mendez, of a hot shot.
Ella Parker smashed this ball. And if you're Presley over at shortstop, you gotta have that play. You gotta have it. As hard as it was hit right to her. Maybe a step across. Gotta get that play, because now you have a very hot Sid Sanders in a bases loaded situation that you do not want to be in if you're Baylor.
Infield comes in for the Bears. First pitch, strike 1.
It's a good moment for Binford to get those pitchers calls, those balls that are just on the plate.
That's a little bit up. Sanders, 370 on the season, but get this number, with the bases loaded this year, Sydney Sanders is hitting .750. The 1-1. Good change of speed, but it misses. Might have fooled the umpire a bit.
I
Good
think
pitch.
it did. That was a great pitch right there. You could see Flores looking back going, was that low? He seems to say yes, but that's a beautiful pitch by Binford. She throws that more often this game, and it gets called for a strike. She's going to be deadly.
2-1 is ripped foul. Get that change of speed. Look out. We saw it last year from Dariana Orm, whom has been dinged up. That's a major part of this Baylor pitching staff. In fact, Orm is
2 of their aces.
Yeah, sitting on the top step of the dugout right now. Sanders, foul tip, swing and a miss. 2 away. Big pitch from Binford. And the last time Sid Sanders batted with the bases loaded, she drove in 3. This time she goes down swinging.
That was a great pitch by Binford, keeping it low in the zone. That is one thing that you've seen. She does not want to leave anything too much over the plate. Tight on the corner. Huge strikeout.
Alina Torres hit a grand slam home run last night with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. It looked like that, except it was to left field. This was on Tuesday night. She's been on fire. This was 2 early on, and then last night the grand slam. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, our buddy Thomas Breach, who does all the numbers and stats for Sooner softball, passed along the batting average for Torres over her last 8 games. .588 with 4 homers. And she lines this one to center field, not deep enough. Ranging over to make the play, and in the inning is Taylor Strain, and the Sooners will leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st inning. We head to the 2nd, scoreless.
Get on base so many times and leave runners stranded. You want to see them get on base, maybe a hit and run, maybe a sac bunt. I want to see a little bit more action from them at the plate and being able to convert those base runners into runs. And then Oklahoma, close the door. Do not allow any bit of hope, any bit of opening. They left the bases loaded. with 1 out, and they weren't able to convert. Huge props to Benford for what she did in the circle, that bounce back. But if you want to close the door, you have to do it a little bit more firmly.
First pitch to Sydney Collasos is in for a strike. She's over third today. Last night, Collasos was behind the plate. 0 for 2. Did draw a walk. Came in the second inning. Takes a ball inside. She was the first base runner of the game last night. Fifth batter of the game. Sooner playing pretty much straight up defensively. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In for strike 2. Good to see Nicole May pounding the zone here.
And if you can look in the batter's box right here, Baylor, their righties are up in the box against Nicole May.
Rounded off.
They are trying to basically prevent the movement that Nicole May has with her curveball, her screwball, and her rise ball. If you're up farther in the box, you get rid of those late breaks, that ball that gets a little bit too tight on the inside.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good job, Ludlam. One away.
But whenever you get up in the box, that is what you open yourself up to. Those pitches that look like a strike, and then they just drop off. If you're in the middle or you're the back half of the box, you're not fooled by that pitch. But whenever you move up, you're susceptible to that low pitch.
Here's Anna Watson, the senior right fielder. Swing and a miss. They doing the same thing with the lefties, Mindy? You've been able to tell? Yeah, this is a pretty left-handed dominated lineup for the most part. At least it was last night. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little bit up.
I feel like this is a tight zone that this home plate umpire has.
Garrett
It's not
Knowles.
bad. It's not a bad zone. It's just tight. As long as he stays consistent with that, it's going to be a good day for hitters and a tougher day for pitchers.
1-1 is popped left side is their room now. Brito will watch it fly. On top of the overhang, there's a little overhang that protects the seating right behind home plate and makes it much cooler in the shade than it is out in the sun.
Much cooler.
1-2. Good try, Riley Ludlam. She tried to pull that back in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, I'm sure all these fans are going to be very glad that they're under this overhang come May, June, that kind of heat that comes with the month.
What a start for May. Get it down there. 2 away. This is vintage Nicole May right here, Mindy. Just dirty on the drop.
And the ability to read these batters and know that's the second strikeout in a row that she has gotten on that same pitch. Knowing what they're looking for and being able to throw it an inch lower, 2 inches lower. Right now she has great pitch control.
And she starts with a strike to Leah Cran.
So if you're Cran, you just saw what happened to the 2 batters in front of you. This freshman adjustment is made. I'm seeing her feet. She's in the back of the box. She's saying, no thanks, I don't want any part of that.
She gets a piece of that. Cran last night moved around a bit. She got the start at third and then moved to second whenever we saw Casey West come in to throw. Kind of surprising not to see Casey West in the starting lineup, which might mean we'll see her early in the circle. The 0-2. Wow. Cold strike 3. Nicole May. 3 up, 3 down, all by way of the K. Sooners head to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless. Nicole Mendez, I'm Chris Plank. Welcome to Love's Field on the campus of University of Oklahoma. An incredibly busy day for athletics on the Sooners campus as Cassidy Pickering leads things off. First pitch skips back from Binford for ball 1. At the same time that the Sooners are battling the Bears here at Love's Field, OU baseball is playing game 2 of its series against West Virginia. They'll play a doubleheader. And then a little bit later on this evening, the OU women's gymnastics team, the #1 team in the country, will host the Big 12 championships as Pickering takes ball 2. By my calculation, Nicole Mendez, it's the last ever Big 12 event inside the Lloyd Noble Center.
No, that's crazy.
2-0. A little bit. Ooh, that caught that outer edge.
Binford, she's been able to get some of those pitches called. The consistency there hasn't been quite what she might want it to be. But whenever she gets those are good pitches. We talked about the tightness of the zone.
Fouled away. Last night, after having, I think even by Cassidy Pickering's description, 2 less than stellar at bats, in her 3rd plate appearance, she laced a double right down the left field line. Hugged the baseline. Swings at that pitch and misses. Oh, screwball action there that got her. 1 away.
Yeah, that's the one that Binford got called for a strike. Pitch 1 against Pickering.
Oh,
that screwball.
That's dirty.
That just rides through the zone. You can see the weight. That's a defensive swing. Pickering, she doesn't know if she wants to swing at that one or not. Whenever you have a hitter second guessing like that as a pitcher, you want to stay in that spot.
First pitch to Riley Ludlam is low for ball 1. It's kind of wild when you look, and I think even Aaliyah Binford would agree. Her career against the Sooners in the circle is a roller coaster, man. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. Didn't pitch against the Sooners, obviously, in 2020. In 2021, these 2 teams played a doubleheader. You were there. We played like a random doubleheader on a Monday. As the 1-1 pitch misses a little bit low. We had the first initial series in 21 in Waco canceled and then went back late in the season, the week of the Big 12 tournament. She gave up 6 hits and 6 runs in her first meeting and then shut the Sooners out in an inning in the second game. Ludlam swings to the 2-1 pitch for strike 2. And then whenever the Sooners faced her in the Big 12 tournament that year, she gave up 10 runs on 11 hits in 4 innings. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hit hard but foul. Of course, got the save in the win last year for Baylor.
To that point, I think it shows a lot whenever a pitcher is really high and really low. The consistency of the mental. We talked about this back in the first of pitching. That's the hardest mental position that you can be in.
Oh, nasty off speed. Called strike 3. You said if that gets called for a strike, look out. That was a good pitch.
You can, as a hitter, whenever you have to defend yourself against Binford, who has a disgusting screwball, and then she floats this off speed in right at the bottom of the zone. That's tough.
Here's Riley Boone. Speaking of on fire, speaking of red hot, Boone takes ball 1 a little bit in. Who's and odds as it rode up on the inside. Over her last few games in this 6-game hitting streak, she's 11 for 16 with 6 runs batted in. To say she's on fire would be an understatement. She was way out in front of that.
So is Binford's off speed. Oklahoma dugout paying notice. All right, she has gotten that one across the plate in very deceptive fashion a couple times in a row now.
Coach Gasso looks on. There it is. Stay hot, Riley Boone. I mean, come on. A 2-out single from the senior. Back up the middle. And the lineup turns over for Jada Coleman.
That one, that screwball, not quite as deceptive as the one that we saw Cassidy Pickering swing and miss at. A little bit more on the plate with a veteran like Riley Boone, somebody who is hot. Also, she leads Oklahoma in batting average. They're 9-hole hitter.
Wow. You know, Jada Coleman's kind of due here. She takes the first pitch a little bit out. Coleman, her first time up, reached on a walk. Sooners stranded the bases loaded in the first. Boone gets aboard with 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes. Line drive. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's not. I met some of the fans that sit in the first row down in that left field corner, and we were pushing on the netting. I'm like, you get a ball down here, that's gonna. You can't be leaned forward. That's gonna get you.
Better hope that net holds up.
12 for her last 17 now for Riley Boone. Coleman hit that one hard. Here's the 1-1. Showed bunt. Oh, it popped away. Boone, though, is going to stay. 2 balls and a strike. Gorgeous day. Winds gently blowing. Out to right. 2-1. Hammer. Deep to center field. Get out of here, ball. It's a 2-run home run from Jada Coleman, who likes the spark and loves field. And Oklahoma takes a 2-zip lead from the greatest show on dirt. A little yard work. And Riley Boone started it with a 2-out laser back up the middle.
That is why it is so important to have runners on base for your hitters. This pitch from Binford, elevated screwball that did not hit that corner. And Jada Coleman, it was a hit and run. Riley Boone was going all the way. There's no need, though. Jada Coleman, an absolute monster blast. Riley Boone.
She knew. She had to make sure she touched the bag. Tiare takes the first pitch low for ball 1. 5th home run of the season for Jada.
I think JT Gasso is pretty happy with that one.
There's another hard hit ball, but right at the left fielder, Emily Hott, who went down on her knees to end the inning. But Jada Coleman has started the party. We head to the 3rd, OU 2, Baylor 0. Nicole May will pitch with a lead for the first time today. 2-0 Sooners as we head to the 3rd. And in these 2 innings and those 35 pitches, Nicole Mendez, we've seen a little bit of everything from Nicole, haven't we?
We've seen up, we've seen down, we've seen fast, slow. You name it, Nicole May threw it. I mean, I think that strikeout against Govan was huge, but the consistency in her strikeouts, they have been in different locations. You saw the rise, you saw that outside pitch, you saw the off speed in the dirt to fool those hitters.
Here's the first pitch to the shortstop, Presley Pylon. Misses ball 1. There is the key, though. As Pylon, the 9-hole hitter, will finally turn over this lineup for Baylor. First pitch strike, staying ahead of hitters. She falls behind here, and Pylon loops one towards left. Hannah Core, who just checked in, makes the play, and there's 1 away. Hannah Core is starting to get comfortable, healthier, had a great fall. Perfectly positioned. Shouts out to JT Gasso, his scouting job. Ryan Wondrosik, one of the behind-the-scenes stars for this team in his scouting reports. And here's the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Taylor Strain, which misses just a little bit out. It's not an easy play in left field.
No, and the way that she read that, I mean, that's a hard hit line drive. You got to be sure that you're getting there in time, because if you're not, that ball gets past you. But Coach Gasso has talked about Hannah Core and just the way she reads the ball. You have Jada Coleman, who's a phenomenal outfielder, Riley Boone as well. But Coach Gasso has gone on record saying Hannah Core, she gets the best jumps out of any outfielder I've ever seen. And I think it's right. The way that you can react as an outfielder, unreal.
That may have been a strike if Ludlam caught it cleanly. 2 balls and a strike. Jada Coleman's 5th home run of the season was her first home run since the Tarleton State midweek. That was back on March 12th. Soft slap foul.
See Brito ready for that. Charging hard over at third base, but if you're a slapper right now, especially one as good as String, you see how hard Alyssa Burrito's crashing, how far over Tiare Jennings is. Maybe a little slap over the third base.
Do the 2-2 again. Pitch clock hasn't come into play yet. Both pitchers working relatively quickly. Banners in by that 10-second mark. Been a non-factor so far for the Sooners this year. 2-2. Nice play by Alina Torres. 2 away. I'd say she was pretty well positioned too. There's another tip of the cap to the scouting report for the Sooners.
I mean, in this day and age, you have all kinds of scouting reports, but you have fielding shades where you can look on an image of what a field is, and you can see the percentages at a batter with a left-handed pitcher against Nicole May. You can get very, very specific against a certain team, against a certain pitcher, what they do, and position your defense accordingly. You see the outfield do it as well, and it's not just Oklahoma, it's been teams all over.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from May. There's a deep ball to left field. It hits off the base of the wall. Core gets it back in quickly, but Hott's in with her second hit of the game. It's a 2-out double. Have a weekend. Emily Hott, Edmund Deer Creek in the house. Baylor has another runner in scoring position, and it's guess who? Emily Hott.
I mean, she's hot. Down the line, hard line drive. This one, it bounces off the wall just about, and that is a statement you want to make, because again, you have your best hitter up to the plate right now with a runner in scoring position.
Strike to Shaylin Govan. A strikeout victim in the first, 1 for 3 last night. So last time I'm going to refer to the game in 2023 when these two teams played in Waco. Govan essentially had the go-ahead game-winning hit in that 4-3 Baylor win. She fouls this one straight back.
She has been clutch for Baylor time and time again.
Govan in the third inning last year homered to give Baylor a 4-1 lead. She finished that game 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. The 0-2 from May. Good job by Ludlam to smother that.
And something small, but Riley Ludlam, as she was coming up out of the box, she moved around Govan. As a hitter, you're allowed to stay put in that box. You see she doesn't move. But Riley Ludlam, she's able to make her way around.
Hard hit ball, backhanded by Torres from her knees, inning over. Alina Torres is showing off some range, and that'll bring a smile to the face of Patty Gasso. Another threat averted. And as we head to the bottom of the third, watch this defensive gem. Oklahoma 2, Baylor nothing. Air conditioning and electrical make the winning call today. Texas trying to make the winning call. Win its series against UCF. The Horns are up 4-2. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. Texas is threatening there. Oklahoma State lost the opener to BYU, and they went in run rule fashion 10-2 in the second game. And we were joking about this with our producer Grant Wade during the break. Kansas has just scored to tie the game against Houston. 1-1. They just scored as the first pitch to Alyssa Burrito is in for a strike. Kansas off to a great start this year. They swept their series last week against Baylor. Now knotted up with Houston after winning last night. Burrito takes the 0-1 a little bit out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burrito, her last time up, walked and was stranded at second base when the Sooners left the bases loaded in the first. A 2-run home run from Jada Coleman. And solid work in the circle from Nicole May. And this is a Burrito bomb to right center field. Alyssa Burrito leaves Love's Field. It's a leadoff nuke. And it's 3-0 Sooners. The party is on at home plate. And Burrito's leading the cheers.
Yeah, fans high-fiving each other. Oklahoma, the classic Boomer Sooner.
Boom.
Benford, another one, the second one that has been left elevated against Oklahoma. Brito, she sent it out of there in a hurry. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised that Baylor kept Benford in the game after that last half inning, not just because of the home run, but because there were multiple hard hit balls. Even that last hit to end the inning, that ball was laced. The left fielder had to drop to her knees to catch that one in time.
Here's Ella Parker, her last time up. She, of course, singled. For Alyssa Brito on the season, chalk up her 11th home run. She is now tied for the team lead. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Parker. One and 2. Takes it low, 2-1.
Even though that one didn't get called for a strike, that off speed, I still think it's a good pitch by Benford, because as a hitter, you lean into that pitch. And then Benford goes tight in.
Foul back.
Ella Parker, her hands are so fast, but you can slow them down just a little bit by the lull of the off speed and then reset with a hard pitch on the inside half.
Spoken like a coach.
Spoken like somebody who had it done to her.
2-2 pitch to Parker. Low. They're going to check with the third base umpire. No. And there is one thing for both Ella Parker and Cassidy Pickering. And we're learning a lot about Maya Bland, too. These 3 talented freshmen that are playing this year, they all seem to be in love with the process, which is something you absolutely love to see. The 3-2. Oh, there's that off speed. Froze her. One away. Boy, if that thing stays in the zone today, that's trouble.
I mean, Benford just rolling that one in there, bottom of the plate. And you can see as that ball comes across, it's right at the knees of Parker. If you're Benford, throw that pitch more.
Sanders fouls this one back. It's tough.
Because you don't want to throw it in those counts that are predictable. Because Oklahoma, they're going to catch wind of that, and they're going to make the adjustments quickly. But I think Benford is going to be so effective if she is able to throw that off speed instead of once every 8, 9 pitches, maybe once every 4, once every 5 pitches. It is that good.
It definitely has buckled a few knees here for the Sooners today. Layout. 2 balls and a strike. Three zip Sooners. A little under that. It'll get out of play.
That one, another off speed. Sid Sanders, that low and outside pitch, I've seen her hit that ball really hard several times. That's an off speed. That location, that spot, Sid Sanders goes, yes, and then she goes, no, I'm early.
2-2. Late on that. Pure gas from Benford, 2 away. By the way, that foul ball caught by our buddy George Schroeder, longtime member of the Oklahoma media. Wrote for the Oklahoman, worked local radio here. George was one of our buddies over on Sirius XM as well. Good to see him here at the game today. 2 away now for Alina Torres. First pitch a little bit out. Benford seems to have Sanders' number. That makes Sid 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. And yes, the sun is out, and I keep saying tonight. I'm sorry.
You're just talking about the next game.
I'm looking forward to game 2 already. Here's the 1-0. Hard hit. Ooh, off the glove. A little late job by Cran. And the Sooners get a 2-out base runner for Hannah Core.
one is just blasted off the bat of Torres, and it just takes a funky hop. And whenever you have a bad hop mixed with that kind of exit velocity, you can see she's expecting it to bounce just a little bit higher, and it doesn't. It gets past the glove of Cran.
First pitch to Core, way out in front. I will say this much. I'm not trying to be Mr. Analysis here, but the deception on the off speed from Binford is pretty elite here.
Very. You don't notice it until it's halfway across, and the speed difference on those two pitches is right around the 8-9 mile an hour range, which is just enough to, sometimes if you have an off speed that's too slow, as a hitter, you can almost reload and then go again. So it's just slow enough that you don't have time as a hitter to get that double load in.
Hannah Core's numbers on the season are not anything that's going to wow you. She's hitting just .217, but the amount of hard hit outs for Hannah Core, it's high. If she do something here with 2 outs, swing and a miss, maybe not. Good bounce back for Aaliyah Binford. Strikes out the side, but the Sooners, hot double. They are paying homage here in the top of the 4th inning to our buddy Dr. Kevin Clazel. Dr. Clazel has been responsible for the emergency management for the Sooners for many years, just retired. He is responsible for this weather today, so tip of the cap to Dr. Kevin Clazel. They had the concerns about the winds tomorrow. We thought if there was any possibility of precipitation that we would end up playing 2 today. As you can see, no concerns about the wind today. It's been gorgeous. But thanks to Dr. Kevin Clazel and all of his incredible work that he's done with the University of Oklahoma for many years. Here with Nicole Mendez, I'm Chris Plank. It's 3-0 Sooners. Nicole May back to work. She'll face Flores, Binford, and Collasos. For Nicole May, what's your advice, Minnie? Just keep dealing?
Keep doing what you're doing. It's looking good.
There's a beautiful frame job on that pitch on the outer edge by Ludlam for strike 1 to Flores. Starting catcher tonight drew the only walk of the game so far for Nicole May. Quickly, it's 0-2. I know this is going to sound wild when talking about somebody whose mannerisms never seem to change, right? Nicole May seems the same if it's 3-0, 10-0, 5-1. The 0-2 pitch is just a little up. But I love her body language here today. It just seems confident, seems in control. That trademark spin of the ball into the glove. Everything about Nicole May seems to be in control right now. The 1-2 fouled off. Usually as soon as I say that, it's when the opposing team hits a home run. So there's Glenn Moore. What a great man Glenn Moore has been. 24 seasons. Coach Gasso was, I guess it's fair to say, maybe reminiscing, talking a little bit about the rivalry between her and Coach Moore. 1-2 fooled. May, though, she can play some D. Oh, flip that one high. Did Sanders stay on the bag? No.
That was a good effort by Nicole May. It's not easy to be running down the line to get that one, but
I think she had a little more time than she realized.
I don't know, because Flores, she hesitated, but as soon as she went, she got down the line quick. Flores, you could see her just hustling. Might have gotten her, but it would have been a close play.
Caroline Roat pinch run here. Saw her step into pinch run last night. Baylor has been dinged with 2 errors on the game. Looks like the official score here in Norman has ruled that a hit. Indeed they have. First pitch swinging, Binford fouls it back. Last time up, Binford flied out to left to end the first inning. It's been a bit of a struggle for Aaliyah at the plate, hitting just 143 this season. The 0-1. Low. I mentioned that number being low because on her career, she's a .289 hitter. 16 career home runs, 79 career runs batted in for Binford. This ball's popped to shallow right field. Boone giving chase. All out effort. Can't get there. Fans appreciate that.
Riley Boone almost caught that one. I think you can see her look for the fence, look for where she had to go, how much room she had left. About 2 or 3 times. Typically in the outfield, you only do that once. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. That was a great track down. That was a great play.
Fouled off again.
I just think that she was a little concerned about how much room she had left, and that caused her to miss a step or two. But Riley Boone, great chase down.
You know, it's a good point and worth remembering. We're still learning outfield wise for both Oklahoma and Baylor, and when BYU comes through here, we're all still learning what this outfield is going to do, the space you have, what the wind will do. 1-2 is fouled off.
It's a good battle by Binford. She had a good hit her first at bat. It was a hard line drive. So while, yes, she is struggling, I think whenever you're coming back from injury, there's also not the physical confidence, but the confidence in your body that it's going to hold up. That has to take a moment before it sets in.
2 balls and 2 strikes as May misses low. Sooners up 3-zip. By no means is this game done, finished, or over. Baylor always competitive in this series with OU. Always. The 2-2 pitch as May brings it home. Ripped. If it's fair, it could be trouble. That ricochets though off the netting.
I think somebody almost fell out of their seat.
I would have fallen out of my seat if I was down there.
Thank goodness for that netting, but yeah, that it feels like it actually will come out of you. I think it was the lady in that gray visor on the first row.
You don't have to point him out. What are you doing? 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm saying I'd be right there with you.
Swing and a miss. 1 away. Chalk up for Nicole May. Unofficially, her 5th strikeout of the game. Here's Goyasos. Great pitch.
Goes back to that off speed, and she has been consistently throwing it out of the zone. Not so much for a strike, but out of the zone in Baylor. They have continued to chase.
First pitch strike here.
I think if you're in the dugout for Baylor and you're tracking pitches, maybe take note of, oh man, our strikeouts, they have come from that off speed, from that one that's not even a strike, it's a ball, it's low in the zone. What can we do to be able to lay off that pitch, make her bring it up? Because I think they have good swings on that pitch. It's just a ball that's out of the reach of their zone.
Collazo was a strikeout victim her last time up. Foul ball ripped into the Sooner bullpen, which is quiet for now. Outside of the amazing trio of bullpen catchers for the Sooners this year. And the crowd's ready to explode. The 1-2. Good job by Ludlam on a ball in the dirt. Faked the throw behind Flores over, pardon me, Roat, the pinch runner, over at first.
Yeah, Roat, she was thinking about going on that one. She took a big lead.
Big lead.
Probably about like 10, 11 steps off that bag.
Ripped, foul. Just foul.
Hard enough to get past Burrito. She was creeping up. Normally with 2 strikes, we find her even with a bag. That one, she was about 2 or 3 steps in front.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Lifted to right field. Riley Boone, though, circles under it, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Crowd reacts with Boone. 2 away.
I have to think, if you are somebody who has never seen an OU game before, you're thinking, why are they booing her?
It's Boone. Here's the first plate appearance this weekend for Zadie LaValle, if that name sounds familiar. Her cousin Audrey played for the Sooners and was part of the 2019 signing class with Riley Boone. First pitch to the left-handed hitting catcher is in for a strike. She is, at least from my perspective, probably the best defensive catcher on this roster for Baylor. Out of Choctaw, Oklahoma. The 0-1. Wow. If that's fair, it might be gone. It is fair. A 2-run home run by Zadie LaValle in her homecoming in Oklahoma, and she brought Baylor right back into this game. A no-doubter down the right field line. The only question was if it was fair or foul, and it hugged the foul pole. And the Choctaw product has brought the Bears right back into this one.
This one elevated on the upper half. Zadie LaValle, she keeps her hands high, and she doesn't try to yank this one too hard across her body, but she just lets her barrel do all the work for her. I mean, that was a monster smash. I reached the second deck out there in right field. Just like that, Baylor, they pull within 1. And that is why it is so important that that ground out, that, who was it, Flores? She beat that out at first.
Changed the whole complexion of this game. First
Absolutely.
pitch, swing and a miss by Cran.
3-2 feels a lot better, especially against a team like Oklahoma, than 3-1. Even though it's only 1 run, it puts a little bit more pressure.
4th career home run for LaValle, and now Nicole May is taking out her frustration on Leah Cran. No balls and 2 strikes. Suddenly some life in that Baylor dugout. Whole new game, top of the 4th. Here's the 0-2 pitch from May. Cran just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Zadie's got a great group of family here. If she just could have waited for the home run, if it was like 10-0 or something, now she adds to the nerves of a day like this. Hey, don't. We said it in the pregame show. It might have been 8-1 last night, but this team does not tap out. The 0-2 is popped up. Is there room for Ludlam? No, it'll hit off the net.
No, and I think that's what Baylor has been struggling with most this season is they get runners on base, they can't convert. They'll get 1 inning where they pull in close to a team, but holding the lead, being able to be tough, they struggle.
That'll do it on the strikeout, but the damage is done. Zadie LaValle, the Oklahoma product, makes the Sooners pay on a pitch that missed, but she did not. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-2 now. Sooners. Frustrating the Sooners is a fair way to put it at times. You see the numbers, 6 strikeouts. Nicole May, it's caught your eye by how she's been able to battle through adversity, right?
Yeah, and you look at Aaliyah Binford, and she has those strikeouts. She looks so good and so deceptive at times, but then she leaves those over the plate. She gets hit hard. I think that is where the frustration lies. She's only 64 pitches in. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Not a bad place to be pitch count wise.
First pitch to Sooner pinch hitter Quincy Lilio is a little bit in for ball 1.
But she knew coming into this game, keeping the ball low, keeping the ball tight, she would rather miss off the plate than on the plate.
Q takes strike one. Again, another one of these Sooner hitters in Quincy Lilio where the numbers won't wow you. They won't jump out of the stat sheet at you, but she just puts the ball in play. 1-1. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. This is in Ludlam's spot, so Riley Ludlam will re-enter. Because I don't think we're ready for Alina Torres to catch quite yet. Nor do I think Alina is. Oh, that off speed has just been fooling the Sooners. Strike 2.
Started to see as this game has gone on, Benford, that off speed has increased more and more in frequency to Oklahoma. And that's Baylor, their pitching strategy evolving, changing. Okay, they're getting this pitch. We need to mix it up with some more off speed. We need to throw them more off balance.
Two. Look out, Riley Boone.
That one almost knocked Riley Boone in the shins.
We don't need that. Sooners won in Oklahoma City last night, 8-1. But Baylor has had a way in this series that, despite what might happen in previous games, there's always 1 or 2 of these that are a little bit too close for comfort. 2-2 is way out.
That one, a beautiful floater, but like you said, in the other batter's box. But even then, you could see Quincy Lilio, the body just leaning across the plate. It is so deceptive. It makes hitters want to go after that pitch.
3-2, check swing. Q's heading down to first base on ball 4. She sold it well. She stopped for a millisecond.
She was going to take a step across like she thought it was strike 3. Didn't hear anything, hesitated, and then threw the bat and ran down to first. You can see a smile on Benford. She thought it was strike 3 too. Here's another look. I think that's strike 3.
She didn't go though.
No, she didn't go, but I think that was strike 3 on the pitch. Tight zone. Tight zone. That is what Benford has been battling against.
Riley Boone singled and scored in the Sooners' second. She takes ball 1. I mean, Riley Boone on absolute fire for the Sooners. Looked like a hit and run may have been on there, but someone either missed a sign or Boone got fooled by a pitch up in the zone.
I think she got fooled by that pitch, absolutely.
I'll leave that up for you to call. Here's the 1-1. Riley laces this one to left field. It's down for a hit. They'll hold up Quincy Lilio at second base. My goodness, Riley Boone is on some kind of tear right now. It's a 2-hit game for the senior out of Owasso who started her high school career at Edison High School. It is her 5th straight 2-hit game or more, and she's riding now a 7-game hitting streak. And all Jada Coleman did her last time up was hit a home run. She takes that off speed for strike 1. What's the hitting key here whenever you have a off speed that's starting to find the zone like Benford's is, Mindy?
If I'm Jada Coleman and I hit a home run my last at bat, I'm sitting off speed. I'm looking to drive something out to left field. My timing's going to be set up for that because the last pitch that I got, it was over the middle of the plate. It was elevated. It was hard. I'm expecting the exact opposite of that this time through.
1 ball, 1 strike. That caught that outer edge. Jada falls behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Riley Boone shouts down from first base under the watchful eye of Fale Palima Steele. Coach Steele over at first base. The 1-2 up high, 2-2. Happy belated Fale. It was her birthday was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
1 day late is not belated.
the
Look
realm.
at that boss
It's
over
the
at
weekend.
first. 2-2 to the right side. Where's your play? They're going to go to second. She was never on the bag. She's safe. The bases are loaded. The shortstop, Presley, never touched the bag. Glenn Moore's going to challenge it, but she didn't come close to the bag.
Jada Coleman knew that as she was running down first base. You could see her arms went across saying safe. She wasn't on there as well. Take a look at this.
Watch the shortstop. She looks like she slid her foot behind it.
I think she got it. I think her foot tapped it. That first initial grab.
Ooh.
She stepped over the bag, didn't have possession of the ball yet.
Well, we're going to get a challenge. Our first of the game.
I was wondering when it might show itself.
So, as we follow the officials, what is this, a basketball game? As we follow the umpires down into the replay zone, if you will. Let's see if we can get one more look at it. If she swiped the bag, if she got her toe on the bag, I think it beat Boone. But here's the other thing. If that's the only angle, let's watch this angle. That back.
I think she got her.
Boy, but can you overturn on that?
I think so. To me, that clearly looks like Riley Boone's foot wasn't yet on the bag. And then you saw the back leg of the shortstop Presley slide across. I think they get her.
Well, it's the difference between the bases being loaded with nobody out and runners at first and third with one out. I would say I don't think that's sufficient enough evidence of what we saw, because depending on what he called, I don't know how you can tell if she got her foot on the back of that bag. That's me. It has to be indisputable evidence, and that's the only two angles at the umpires. There's no magic extra cameras out here for them either. But I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to anything in reviews so far. I'm about 0 for 80. But we wait. I will say one thing that has become pretty obvious in the review process, the official reviews that take place, is they've been very lengthy this season from the games that we've done.
Very much so. It's almost the offset of what you get from the action clock of 20 seconds. That pitch has to be coming in.
You think Peyton
The time that
Monticelli's
you make
dad's
up?
enjoying
Yeah.
being in Norman? That's the father of the Sooner
Is that him
Fireball,
right there?
right? Yeah, that's Peyton Monticelli's pops.
Right behind home plate.
He's awesome.
He's on it.
Benford's going to get a few warm-up pitches in. Boone, usually on a play like that, this is why I would also turn to your side. I didn't notice Boone jumping up right away calling for the review either. And usually whenever you do that, you feel a little bit more comfortable that you can challenge, or that I guess you wouldn't need a call for the review. My bad, because it was from Baylor. Never mind, ignore that. The shortstop, Presley Pylon, she looked towards the dugout and asked for it. All right, let's see. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Enough of a review. Good challenge by Glenn Moore. So, and what you saw was Presley just get a little bit of that bag with that back foot. Yeah.
It was a back foot that drug across second base before Riley Boone, because she was in the vicinity just before Riley Boone's foot touched down on second base.
T.R.A. Jennings way out, ball one. Jennings, her last time up, lined out to left on a ball that Emily Hott had to go down to her knees to make the play before.
She didn't have time. I mean, that ball was hit so hard, and you don't want to turn your glove over and try to catch it right at your knees.
Slice is foul.
Nope.
And it's a ball and a strike.
Flies back onto the field.
And a ricocheting back onto the field over there. One ball, one strike. First and third, maybe a first and third play here. Ground ball, don't need it. TRA laces one into left field, an RBI single. And the Sooners get back one of the 2 runs they gave up in the top half of the fourth. It's now 4-2 Sooners on an RBI single from who else but TRA Jennings.
Jennings, she doesn't even get all of this one, but the way her barrel path is going, it's sweeping from the outside half of the plate across back over towards the line, and that ball just lines up with her barrel, and she's able to squeeze it in that 5-6 hole.
Brito takes the first pitch way outside for ball 1. What started this rally? A leadoff walk to the pinch hitter, Quincy Lilia. Jennings at first now. Coleman at second. 1-0 is low. Alyssa Brito did this her last time up. A leadoff home run in the third. Time gave the Sooners a 3-zip lead. But Baylor countered on a 2-run homer from Zadie LaValle. Oklahoma, though, trying to get some separation as the quick meeting at the circle between LaValle and Binford is over. Should mention that as far as the defense is concerned from Baylor, they actually put Flores back in behind home plate. Excuse me. The 2-0 pitch. A little bit low and in, 3-0. I will say this, in my defense, it's very rare that you have 2 catchers that have 90 in their number. And that's exactly what Baylor has. Zadie LaValle wears 99. Their strike 1 on the 3-0. And Abby Flores wears 95. They're both left-handed.
There's no break, really.
Good luck trying to figure that one out game in and game out. Brito's season average is up to 422 at 11 home runs. A 12th one would be nice. There's ball 4 instead. The bases are loaded for the freshman Ella Parker.
Big time walk. Baylor faced again with a bases loaded Oklahoma. They're in that spot back in the first, and Binford, she got out of it. We have seen throughout this game, she can rise up, she can spot, she can place hard pitches, off speeds.
First pitch is a little bit out, ball 1.
Through the zone, but kind of have to be careful. Ella Parker 0 for 2 today. Binford definitely has had her number, but she is such a great hitter because she adapts so quickly.
Thought about it, took strike 1. Last home run for Ella Parker. She has 5 on this season. Her last home run came here March 10th against Iowa State. And she laces this one to left field. Caught. Coleman will tag and score. It's 5-2 on the RBI sac fly from Parker. And OU gets back the 2 they gave up in the top half of the fourth. It's now 5-2 Sooners. And a piece of hitting there, Nicole Mendez from Ella Parker.
Talked about how hard it would be to fool Ella Parker again. It's just been that screwball for Binford.
First pitch to Sanders is up high.
Whenever it misses over the plate, it is hit well, but the movement that she has on that screwball, if she's able to get that ball, even if it lands over the plate, but has that movement, I believe she can be effective. But those pitches that are missing over the plate, there's no movement. It's almost like an overspin, an over-rotation of that screwball.
After going through one of the hottest streaks that we've seen from a Sooner hitter through the weekend last weekend at Texas Tech, Sydney Sanders is 0 for 2 today. She was 0 for last night, and she takes low. Oh, I popped 1 for 2 last night. So she is now 1 for her last 6. I want to say the do factor's high here for Sid Sanders. There's a hot shot, knocked down, still a chance at first. They got her. Nice play, staying with it by Cran at second base. Baylor at times has had its D let him down. 2 big errors, but in that moment, Cran was big time. We head to the 5th. 9-1-2 for Baylor as we head to the 5th. Sooners get back the 2 they gave up. It's 5-2 Oklahoma. Nicole May, after giving up the 2-run home run to Zadie LaValle, struck out Leah Cran. That's what she does. Nicole Mendez, she bounces back, doesn't she?
Yeah, and it definitely helps whenever your offense goes back and scores and gets back those 2 runs.
First pitch swinging, Hannah Core does a little dance, makes the catch one away. The wind picked up just a bit, where we were bragging about the flags being at rest and the wind not being an issue. There's a little dance move that Core does. It's challenging out there when you just haven't had a lot of time on Love's Field.
That and in the wind, I mean, the flags have been standstill, not moving at all, and then all of a sudden you one hit and it's just blowing hard across the field. Kind of bad luck there for Pion, because that one had potential, had the power, but whenever the ball's blowing back in.
Shannon Vivoda pinch hits here. Her first pitch is a foul on a rocket. Saw Vivoda last night coming at 3rd. Didn't have a play appearance. Like she'd been storing one. More power from these left-handed pitch hitters. Certain. Oh, Nicole May, the pitch clock is at 0.
Yeah.
And they must not at the 0-1, swinging a miss, strike 2.
Even if they did, I think it would have been at, I think they did start it. I think it went over.
Wow.
Nicole May shook off a few of those pitches. It took a long time. Should have been a ball. But I think also teams sometimes forget. And as an umpire, you're focused on the pitcher. You don't always look at the clock. So if you're an offense, keeping an eye on that clock, seeing, okay, is she going over? Should I call this out? Let the umpire know, hey, time's up.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, call strike 3. That was just nasty. That was unfair to Cole May. 2 away. 7th strikeout of the game from the Sooner senior on her senior day. And if you wonder what we mean by saying
7th strikeout from the super senior on her senior day.
And if you wonder what we mean by senior day, every single Sooner senior gets their own day. Instead of, they have the one-night celebration, but throughout the season, especially with 10 of them, as Emily Hott, who's 2 for 2, fouls this off, she's having herself a senior day here today. Everyone gets their own day. You used to have your own individualized giveaway too, or at least your own bit that you would do.
Nicole May, if you're on the complex, they were giving out Nicole May posters.
A few of those. The 0-1 fouled off. 7 strikeouts, up to 56 on the season for May. She's ahead of Hot here. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch skips it out low. Should mention, as expected, Riley Ludlam did indeed re-enter behind the plate because she has no choice. Sanders at first, Torres at second. Jennings remains in it short with Brito at 3rd. Boone out in right, Coleman in center. That is Hannah Core, another inning out in left. The 1-2. This ball could be out of here. This ball is long gone. Have a day, Emily Hott. She has been a one-person wrecking machine for the Baylor Bears this weekend, and she adds a home run. Oklahoma natives are having a day here in Baylor's first ever game at Love's Field.
Something about that Oklahoma blood, I don't know, gets you pumping whenever you're back on the dirt.
Zadie LaValle with a 2-run home run.
This one off speed, low and inside, but you could tell Hot not fooled by it one bit.
5-3.
That was a massive home run, but it was on a line. It wasn't one of those home runs that comes up, looks like a pop-up.
May bounces back by throwing one right by Govan for strike one. 0 for 2 tonight for Shaylin Govan. 5-3. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This series has had its fair share of blowouts, but there's kind of like Iowa State. There's one game in the series where it's how'd that get so tight? Last year, Sooners won the first game 7-0, and then had a battle out for a 4-0 and 2-0 win. The 0-2 pop foul.
I think that's what makes the 3-game series in softball so great, is because sure, you can beat anybody once, but you're going to have to face him 2 more times throughout the series weekend. You got to bring your good stuff, not just day 1, but day 2, day 3.
Here's the no ball 2-strike pitch. May outside. 7 strikeouts from Nicole May, ties her season high 2024. Key number still for me is the 1 walk. There's a ball that could be trouble to right field. Riley Boone. Oh, she makes a sensational play as she crashes into the wall. And everybody stands, cheers, and chants Boone. Riley Boone, no concern for her body, crashes up against the right field wall, and the Sooners give up another, but lead 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Courtyard by Marriott as Oklahoma leads it 5-3. Selfies, kiddos, a lot of crimson, and a different feel. OU's lead cut back down to 2, and a new pitcher for Baylor is Casey West, and she promptly nuke Lelouch's it. I want you to hit the bull. She hits the backstop. Last night, she was pretty good against the Sooners. Ended up working an inning and 2/3. Allowed 1 hit, walked 2. Only faced 8 batters. She misses with the 1-0, 2 balls and no strikes. Casey West. Righty, plays a lot in the field. As we mentioned, odd not seeing her. She started at second last night. She misses on the 2-0 to Torres. 3 balls and no strikes. While this Baylor team has battled injuries, you look up and down this lineup and there are players that you feel like you've been talking about for a decade. Casey West has been a regular part of their rotation for 3 years now. By rotation, I mean infield, pitching as well. There's the strike.
I think this is a good call by Baylor, just getting out into those latter innings, getting through 2.5 times through the lineup.
All 4. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if indeed the health of Orm is going to keep her out of this game and this weekend. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see either Binford or Crandall start the nightcap.
I would expect to see Crandall.
Yeah, after getting the start on Friday.
Yeah.
Avery Hodge is going to pinch run. Crandall did a really nice job last night. And I know that sounds wild when you look at her stat line and you see 9 hits. But she had held the Sooners at bay essentially for 4 innings, giving up just 1 run, and then Oklahoma exploded as they typically do in the 5th. Here's Hannah Court. Struck out in her first plate appearance of the game. Now is back in the 3rd. Hodgepins running, likely will stay in the game and play second. Bunt shown, strike taken. So you're calling on Riley Crandall for game 2. Who you calling on for the Sooners?
You know, I have a feeling I would love to see Carly Keeney.
The 0-1 up high, 1-1.
I feel like it's just unexpected enough. You would probably think Deal would get the start. But you might see Deal. You saw Kelly Maxwell, the lefty, had a lot of effectiveness against Baylor yesterday.
Way outside on the 1-1, 2 balls and a strike. In our pregame interview, our pregame conversation with Coach Gasso, she did mention how she wants to see more of Carly Keeney, a good Carly Keeney. And Nicole Mendez did say she expects Carly Keeney to be one of the stars of this team come May. 2-1. Hard hit off the glove of Govan. And they got to play it first because of the quick reactions by Cran at second. That's about the 3rd ball the Sooners have hit today that just bounces right out of a Baylor player's glove, and this was a laser off the bat of Core. 1 away.
Talked about how Hannah Core, her batting average doesn't reflect the way that she has been squaring up balls. I mean, anybody who sees that goes, yes, that was a good hit. Hit well, hit hard, just tipped off the glove. And a great play over at second by Cran to be able to range over behind first base and get that out. Hannah Core, she's pretty quick. But it doesn't always reflect in batting average because that doesn't help her. There's no stat for, well, you hit the ball hard, but you still got out.
Casey West, one of the better ERAs on this squad, a .88 ERA for Baylor as she misses with a 1-0, 2 balls and no strikes. Her longest outing of the season came against Lamar a couple weeks ago, went 6 2/3, allowed just 3 hits. She's been effective, but in small stints this season. The 2-0 is lifted deep to right center field. Touch 'em all, Riley Ludlam. A home run for the Furman transfer as she leaves the yard, and Oklahoma opens this game up. It's now 7-3 Sooners on the 2-run shot from Ludlam. Got a pitch she liked. Took it to the house.
Riley Ludlam taking advantage of a ball that's middle. Takes it oppo. I mean, this ball hit the ground so hard that it bounced over the head of the right fielder, Watson, who was close to the fence whenever it came back in. That ball is smashed.
Riley Boone's had a night. She's 2 for 2, and she takes strike 1. 7-3 Sooners here in the bottom of the 5th inning. For Riley Ludlam on the season, chalk up her 3rd home run, RBI 18 and 19. Boone takes the 0-1 high. That is now the 3rd home run of the day for the Sooners on the season now. Nicole Mendez, 64 home runs from Oklahoma.
They're on a tear.
Is that right? Unbelievable. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Boone.
And what I do love most about that is whenever Riley Ludlam came into the dugout after the home run, the one most excited, most hyped up for her, Kinsey Hansen.
They're going to give a second here for Flores to recover. In fact, Baylor's athletic trainer is going to come out and check. She's holding her right wrist. See if maybe we can catch a replay and see what happened there. The count is a ball and a strike. Or pardon me, 2 balls and a strike. Scoreboard is incorrect. Our bug here is correct. You can see she's working around that right wrist a bit. Just watching on the replay, Mindy. Skips up. Oof.
The way that skipped, it looks like it hit her right, like that palm, high wrist area.
If that hit their pitch watch, that's not an inexpensive piece of equipment to replace if it broke it. But it looks like she's going to be okay.
You can tell she is still feeling it.
Going to take a couple of pitches here. Boy, I don't know.
Yeah, she caught that, and it looked like she did not like the way that ball impacted against her.
For those that aren't familiar, in 2024, the new system that's being used to call pitches, that's what Flores has. That's what Casey West has around their wrist. The pitching coach will dial in a pitch and a location. The 2-1 is on the outer edge, strike 2. So it will say, actually the pitch, changeup, curve, screwball, and then it'll give you a number, and that number will be the zone where the ball is to be thrown. 2-2. Bounce foul. And it's a digital readout.
Yeah, and if that ball just, I mean, I'm wearing a watch right now. If I slam my fist onto the watch, that kind of creates a bigger impact on my wrist. I can imagine the same can be said for Flores behind the plate. Whenever a ball is literally being thrown 65 plus.
2-2. That ball misses low. West took a lot off it. Ball 3 and a good eye by Boone to take it.
Talk about being a tear. Riley Boone doesn't have as much home run power, but what a spark plug for Oklahoma.
3-2. Out to the right side. This could be a close play. It's no play. Oh, Boone's on her way to second. Look at the hustle from the senior. It may have been an E, but she makes the most of it. She's at second with 1 out in the 5th. There's just not an off switch for her.
I mean, I was just talking about how she's a spark plug. This, by all means, this is an error that should be out just through the glove of Cran, trying to come up and throw the ball to first so quickly. But as soon as this ball gets past Cran, right field far away, Presley at shortstop far away, Riley Boone doesn't hesitate. She rounds first hard, gets to second, makes momentum out of an error at home, or an error at second base.
Uh-oh. Glenn Moore's got the lineup card, and we're going to see an in-game substitution as Cran, it looks like Cran's going to come out at second base. Boone's going to jog and give her gloves to Coach Gassa. We have seen, that's not a very happy Glenn Moore. We have seen Glenn Moore do this before, where he'll make a mid-inning substitution if he's not happy about a play. We saw it happen behind the plate in 2021 in Waco. And Emery McDonough, I believe, is out at second now. There's a good look at the new second baseman. She'll replace Cran. And now Jada Coleman says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of time here. Boy, that's hard for a player when you have a tough play like that and then you get pulled. That's tough.
Yes, it is tough because you know she's beating herself up about it. But that has been the third play where something has tipped off of her glove.
Yep.
And you think about the momentum and the results because of that has come from Oklahoma. If you give them an inch, they take a mile. And you can't allow those kinds of things to happen.
First pitch is low and away. And add to it, not only unable to make the play, but then not to immediately get back to get the ball and then open up the opportunity for an extra base. Tough one there. The 1-0, Coleman almost looked like she was trying to get a little soft slap at it. Yeah, they said she didn't go. Looked like she did. Baylor dugout is wearing out our home plate umpire, Garrett Knowles, on that. It looked like she swung.
I think that was an offer to try and draw in third base.
And get Boone running.
Shortstop, yeah.
Hitters count here, 2-0. 2-1. Just a tough half inning here for Baylor. They give up the 2-run homer to Riley Ludlam. Dunn is in now at second. Flores got dinged up behind the plate. Coleman takes strike 2, 2-2.
Nice spot there by West, locating those two pitches back to back on that outer half corner. You could tell just by the way Jada Coleman was taking those pitches, it looked like she's looking for that inside pitch.
Ball 3. Garrett Knowles' zone has viewed that as a strike a few times today. We'll take a ball to run the count full here with Tiare Jennings waiting on deck. That Sooner dugout is ready to explode. The 3-2 to Coleman. Ball 4. On another pitch that looked really close.
Really, really good from West. Great pitching. That at bat, I just think that strike zone on that outside half, it just shrunk.
Jada Coleman has now reached every single time she's had a plate appearance today. A first inning walk, that 2-run homer in the second, reached and eventually scored on a fielder's choice in the 4th, walks here in the 5th. First and second, one away. Here's Tiare Jennings. First pitch strike from Casey West. Jennings singled and drove in a run in the 4th. She's 1 for 3 on the day. Hit the 11th home run of the season last night in Oklahoma City. No balls and a strike. Nearly hit her. Wild pitch. Off to third goes Boone. Off to second is Coleman. It was a 7-run 5th last night. A bomb from Tiare here, or even a double, puts that at least in the conversation with Brito and Parker and what they've done today. Due up in the next 2 slots. Way out, ball 2.
Tiare Jennings, a batter that, like you said, is hot. They have been really hot as a whole for Oklahoma, but Jennings, she really got things started yesterday. You don't want to be the one to give up a double against her. And it looks like right now Baylor, they're not going to intentionally walk, but they're just going to pitch around the zone. They're not going to give her anything good to hit. If she swings, she swings. If not, Baylor, they now have a force play anywhere. That opens up the room. Okay, we can get a couple of outs here and there. We don't have to stress as much.
The 3-1 to Jennings, ball 4. Well, you did open up a force at any base, but you also opened up the opportunity where if Alyssa Brito does what she did with the bases loaded here on Wednesday night, it's ball game. 30 pitches so far for Casey West. Only 11 of them have been strikes. Bases loaded for Alyssa Brito. 1 for 1 with a home run and 2 walks. A grand slam here, walks it off. Why not, Brito? And she had a cut.
This Baylor infield, they are in tight. They are looking to go home. It's clear, it's obvious, but with the hitter like Brito, even if she does hit the ball in the infield, she hits the ball so hard. Baylor, I'm looking for a double play.
The 0-1. Oh, she had a cut. And Brito falls behind 0-2. West fooled her. Casey West. And now Patty Gasso is going to call time. Jada Coleman had already called time. And now, Coach Gasso. All right, so you only get 1 timeout an inning, 1 half inning. coach, when she was bringing, we thought she was calling time. Fale Steele said, no, coach, we've already used it. And then coach pointed out, hey, no, I'm bringing a pinch runner in.
No, Tiara Jennings, you come into the dugout so Maya Bland can come out and run.
So when she was waving, it was smart of Coach Steele. It's like, no, wait, coach, we've used our timeout. But then it's also, coach is like, no, I'm bringing in Maya Bland here, who stands at first. Gave Brito a chance to breathe behind 0-2, and that infield is in tight. That up the middle is wide open. Good spot for an 0-2. Misses away. Seeing that Brito's chased a couple out there. Not a bad idea.
She's eager.
Yeah.
She is eager. That first swing that she had this at bat was hard. Fouled straight back. Second one in the dirt until she got a little excited by that foul ball.
The 1-2. Ripped off the glove of Collasos. It's a fair ball. Riley Boone scores. It's 8-3 Sooners. Jada Coleman thought about it, but the Sooners have just hit absolute rockets. And thankfully, Baylor hasn't been able to get the glove on it completely. It's a two-hit day for Brito. Whew, that was scorched.
Talked about Brito, she hits the ball hard, so even if it does go to the infield, if you are in tight, you have less reaction time. If you're Baylor, you don't want to be in that tight against a hitter like Brito.
Here's Parker. 0 for 3 on the day. That infield stays in. First pitch right on the outer edge for strike one.
To me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense whenever you have one out with bases loaded. You have time to throw home. You have time to touch third, to touch second, get that double play.
In the dirt. Good job by Flores. Brito's home run in the third represented her 30th RBI of the season. That was number 31. A 1-1 pitch to Parker with the bases loaded way outside. 2-1. And for Casey West, it looks like she's going to have to wear this one. There is no activity in the Baylor pen that we can see. Brito at first. Land at second. Coleman at third. Here's the 2-1 to Parker. Hammered. Deep to left field. Walk it off. Ella Parker, a grand slam home run. And the Oklahoma Sooners win it in run rule fashion on a Saturday afternoon in Norman. The party is on at home plate. And Ella Parker's the reason. The Sooners take care of the Bears in game one in run rule fashion, and it was home run derby. Jada Coleman got one. Alyssa Brito got one. Riley Ludlam hit one. And the walk-off grand slam from Ella Parker. How about that?
Holy cow.
Ella Parker. Wow. Wow. 5 runs batted in on the day.
This one on the outside corner. Not a bad pitch by West, but she is clutch. Clutch city. And she struggled at the beginning of this game, but as it went on, she got more and more hot. Ella Parker, have a day. And I think we talked at the beginning of this game about the completion of Oklahoma and what you want to see from them the entire game. From the start, the very first inning to the very last. First inning, they fell short. They did. Left the bases loaded. But I think it was you, Chris Plank, who said anytime that Oklahoma leaves the bases loaded, they come back and score a 12 spot. I honestly think you said that.
Well, no, we had talked about it. There's so many great Sooner statisticians on Twitter, like our buddy Jessica Boehm and others. When the Sooners leave the bases loaded, that's usually a good thing early. And it was here today. 12-3 will be the final. So it's another 7-run 5th inning for the Sooners. Ella Parker 1 for 3.